Good evening, and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, episode 107th, I believe. I'm Jamie, and I'm trying to attempt to run the thing this week, so hopefully it all fills in nicely. I am joined, however, by MPV Grant. We'll just bring him in quickly.
Hello.
Did it work? Can I hear you? Yes, success. Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
Hello. All good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. The first mouse click worked wonderfully, so we're off to a good start, yeah. No Scottish Gruff Ross, no Billy Man Ian, but we have got the one, the only special guest Pete back again for another week, twice in a row, as he said.
Hello.
How are
Good
you,
evening,
special guest
everyone.
Pete? Sorry, can you? I'm going to have to kick you off. You can't be wearing that sort of t-shirt on the Xbox brand.
Do we take it off?
Yes, please. Yeah, and your trousers as well. So welcome. This is episode, like I said, 107th of the Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, which we do every Sunday, 8 p.m.
Ish.
Thank you very much.
What was Graham trying to swallow there?
Synchronized. We won't get into that. You have got to watch a video after dark to to see that. But yeah, we'll talk some Xbox news and some stuff, and hopefully it won't all fall apart as I try and keep things running. So, gentlemen, let's get straight into the news, shall we? And the top story that we've got this week, there wasn't a great deal to choose from this week, but the main one is Xbox is supposedly getting Ubisoft Plus soon, which includes 60 plus games, according to the headline on Pure Xbox here. So I'll just read. I'm not reading the entire list of games because, as I said, 60 plus games. But back Pure Xbox say, back in early January, we started hearing rumblings that Ubisoft Plus might be gearing up for a release on Xbox, with around 20 games appearing on the Xbox store with the Ubisoft Plus tag. Now it seems we might actually have the full list of games that will be included with the catalogue, which increased to 63 titles. According to True Achievements, the list is as follows: the fucking 10 ton of Assassin's Creed, 10 ton of Far Cry's, 10 ton of South Park's, The Cruise, Tom Clancy games, etc., etc. There's no set date for it, but it's obviously already out on PC and I believe PlayStation as well, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure there. I know we've spoken about it before, but great. Does this service do anything for you? I know we sort of like the Far Cry games and some of the other Tom Clancy's and stuff, but would this be something you'd be tempted to sign up for if it's not included in Game Pass, for example?
Probably not. There's nothing on there that's screaming out to say this is. I don't even know how much it's going to cost yet. To say how much.
You keep talking. I'll look up the price of the PC.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those games are sort of. A few of them have some sort of carry on that are still relevant. Like I think Immortals, Phoenix Rising. I think that's still got a little bit of life left in it. But looking along the list of things, I mean, if you haven't touched any of these games, then yeah, I mean, there's a lot there to sort of tuck into, but none of these games are anything new enough to sort of bring you in. Maybe Watch Dogs. No, it's not even in the new. Oh yeah, Watch Dogs Legion. Okay, it has got the newest Watch Dogs in there, but I mean, if that's as new as they're going to get, then that and Far Cry 6, maybe, and Valhalla. There's a couple of new-ish ones that might draw you into it, but no, not enough to sort of make me pay for another subscription for them. No, but for those who haven't even touched those games before, then they could be getting something depending on how much that is going to cost.
Yeah, so the PC version, just quickly, a quick Google, is coming up at $14.99, which is more expensive than Game Pass Ultimate, which I think is in the UK it's less than that. I think it's $15 as well in the US, but for 63 games, just Ubisoft titles, or what is it now, 400, 500 Xbox associated games for Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, it's sort of a no-brainer really. But if they include the new what's it called, the new Assassin's Creed Ian's looking forward to, the one that sort of take it back to its roots and stuff. So I think they put them in day one. So if they include that sort of thing, they might get a few more subscriptions come the release of that and whatever the new Far Cry is and new Division and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What about you, Pete? I know you're not a massive Ubisoft fan from the looks of these games. I think maybe Assassin's Creed.
In a word, no. But 30% of those 60 games is Assassin's Creed and Far Cry.
Yeah.
Games like Battleship, I've already got. Looking down the list, I saw the Rabbids Invasion interactive TV show. I'm pretty sure that requires a Connect, doesn't it?
Do you know what? It might have at one point. I'm not sure if it still does, but yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, but the South Park games are worth a playthrough. I'd quite like to get into. Is it Wildlands? But obviously, it's just I think it's a desert version of the Division. So Yeah. Plus, you can't really play it on your own, so you'd need a group for you to come and play it. So there's nothing on there that screams, play me, especially if it's 15 quid. You got Zombie on there, which was released first on the Wii U way back in
2013,
2011, 2013. Yeah, exactly. So that game's
but it's a way better version on there because of the Wii U controller. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Like games like Uno, Uno, Risk, Battleship. They're not exactly, Monopoly Madness. Jeopardy. It's not exactly. They're scraping the barrel a bit, aren't they?
Yes, you got 30% Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, 30% Guff family games, and the rest is like, well, it might be worth playing them if you haven't already played them. But it's a bit late.
I mean, you got Trials on there as well, but only 3 of the Trials on there. But again, it's not. I'm sure people who like Trials have already paid and bought it about 5 years ago.
And so you could probably already pick up all 3 titles for less than 15 quid.
Exactly.
So you probably best off going that.
But they haven't said how it's going to be portrayed in the Xbox yet, like cost-wise, or how much of it's part of Game Pass, or if it's not going to be completely separate.
I think when this was rumoured in whenever it was January or even before that, I think they come out and said that if it was to come to Xbox, it wouldn't be included in Game Pass like EA Play is. But that was obviously they're not going to say that necessarily if because to stop people subscribing and what have you. And I imagine the difference between whenever that was, however many months ago, and now, I mean, Ubisoft are in a bit of a more struggling position, so they might be more open to chucking at least some sort of version of it on Game Pass and then having like an upgrade or something where you can play the new releases day one or what have you.
Yeah, I mean, aren't some of those Assassin's Creeds? I mean, obviously, we've already seen the Chronicles. They've already been on. Have they been on Gold?
I think so. Yeah.
You got, I think, like Odyssey and Origins have been on Game Pass already. So,
that's what I mean. It's
for an Xbox player, there's not a lot there.
No future ones on Game Pass. That Ubisoft are just going to keep it all to their own one. They're not going to share anything with Game Pass going forwards. I mean, that would be their own minor shame, but that'll be the only way they'd pull people over.
I mean, you got to think it took EA a while before they came to Game Pass, didn't they? It was out, a year or 2 before it went and they came to Game Pass Ultimate, EA Play.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, I imagine the Ubisoft version will want to be on the market for 6 months to a year to test the waters to see if they get any subscriptions. I mean, and if it doesn't work out, they'll put it in Game Pass.
Yeah, and obviously, like EA Play, like you said, even though it's on Game Pass, you don't get the games day one still. You still have to wait 6, 7, 8 months for the new FIFA or pretty much all of them. I think they've done 1 or 2, but most of the games.
I mean, apart from the Assassin's Creed game you mentioned, is there any other upcoming games from Ubisoft? Like, there's no Far Cry 7 or any of that from what I've seen.
There's rumours of a Far Cry 7 and a new. Well, they're supposed to be doing a new Splinter Cell remake, which Happy Cloud Gamer shout out. He says, "Let's get a new Sam Fisher game." Yes, please, Happy Cloud Gamer. That would be lovely. I'd like to see that. I'm just going to leave that on the screen the whole time, just to keep myself warm and happy. Yes, they've got a few things in the works, but there was a story last week or the week before where they come out and said that they cancelled like however many 3 or 4 unannounced games. So they're not, like I said, they're not in the greatest position in the world. So they might be more up to adding it to Game Pass, but we'll see.
It has to be hyper competitive to get people on there. I'm saying, like, I don't know, around the £5 mark, or to even get people to entice them to sort of or tag it on top of what they've already got. Yeah,
I mean, how much was EA Play when that first launched on Xbox?
I think it was about 15 quid a month for us.
Was it about 15 quid? Bloody hell.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
generating titles like the sports series. I mean, if they brought them in not long after day one, then you kind of do make your money back if you're a big sports fan. But Ubisoft is sort of it's a bit of a gamble that way. They don't have.
Well, a lot of their games are live service based at the minute, isn't they? That's why they've sort of been struggling, because they keep bringing all the games out that they want to keep, like Division and Ghost Recon, like you said, Pete, and they're all right for like 2 or 3 months, and then everybody fucks off to the next thing. Whereas,
well, we spoke about this last week, didn't we? Like you said about all these live service games, you buy them, and how long are they going to be supported for?
Exactly, yeah. So we need some decent new titles in there. That would be nice from them. But we'll see. Again, there's no date or anything. It's still firmly in the rumor category. And obviously, as Happy Cloud Gamer says, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in the works. If we ever see that game, I will I mean, I'm not holding that much hope at all at this point. It's been how many years since they announced it, and they haven't said anything in God knows how long. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, we'll see. They might bring us some new interesting games, especially when the Far Cry 7 comes out. If I didn't already have it, I might be tempted to play that one. But we'll go with that. Oh, Ian. Hello, Ian. Ian's in the chat. Hello, Ian. Oh, he's such a lovely man, isn't he? Such a lovely man. I don't know where is he? Oh, he's watching the Super Bowl, isn't he, with Ross and
The Super Bowl doesn't start until about 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Go team. But yeah, so that's about it for the Ubisoft stuff. Obviously, we'll get an announcement, I imagine, at some point in the near future. Cool. Let's move on to a very quick one, shall we? So, Microsoft have revealed a new coloured controller. Yay! Round of applause for everybody.
Yay, purple.
It's purple/blue, and they call it the Stellar Shift. Let me just see if I can do some magic here, shall we? Hang on.
Tell us what groundbreaking features this new controller is going to bring us, Jay.
It has Mr. Beast as an advert next to him. So look at that. Let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it's a nice looking controller, but it's not an elite version. It's just a bog standard one. It looks lovely. I think it's 60 quid, 70 quid, something stupid like that. Let's have a look down here. There we go. Look, $59.99 in Great British pounds or $70.
Isn't it the standard?
I think it's standard.
Yeah, elites over £100 these days still.
No, I meant for a normal controller, isn't that round about what they were?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So it's just just a normal addition to the usual kind of white, black, red, and grey.
Yes. Now they have about 1,000 different like preset colours as well as Design Lab. But yeah, I mean, it looks lovely.
See, it's the color scheme and kind of the pattern. Obviously, you kind of need that in the is it Design Center? Is that what it's called? Design Lab. Because the Design Lab you can only just put colors on, right? If you could do that kind of color scheme, I think you'd get a lot more people buying into it. You'd love like a bit of a yellow and orange and that kind of thing, and it would look fantastic.
A bit of pearlescent views.
If that's a teaser things to come, then I think it's good. Otherwise, what's the point of announcing it? Just stick it out there.
Well, they've done it for most of the colours they've put out, though. To be fair,
yeah.
Chuck a small colours, but yeah, I thought that was. Go on.
I was saying, considering what one of the other stories is about the layoffs, like, well, not the layoffs, the marketing.
Yeah, well, let's get into that one quickly. I mean, I must admit, I've not pre-read these this week. I've been way too busy trying to get ahead of ourselves. But obviously, they laid off a load of people recently, and they've also cut their marketing budget. So things like, let me just quickly read this.
Controller announcements.
Could be controller announcements, new colours. Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be less. We might get less of things like the developer direct and stuff, which was pretty awesome, really. And we'd like to see more of that, not less. But yeah, I mean, that's all bit business for my liking, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't come more because I mean, how many years has it been since Nintendo just didn't do E3 and said, right, here's the Nintendo. Was it called the Something Tree? Was it Something Tree? And then they just did the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, they did a tree house, and then everyone's like, bloody hell, this is good. And I can't believe it's taken people this long to actually go, do you know what? We don't need to do some fans spend millions of pounds on this stage. Just put it in a direct. You can rehearse it, script it, and put what you want and all that kind of jazz, you know?
Do a half-hour live stream, show some trailers, show some people going, games, yeah, cool.
Exactly.
And then that's it. You don't need to invite a million people to Los Angeles to sit and watch you on a stage. Go, look at my T-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, again, that's all a bit too business for my liking, really. But it's not ideal. Obviously, them laying off a load of people isn't going to have helped anything. But we'll see if that affects. I mean, you've got things like Starfield, Starfall, whatever you want, StarCraft coming up. So I imagine the budget's probably not going to be reduced for things like that. Really, they're going to ram it down our throats. But yeah, maybe we'll see some more interesting stuff, I should say. And let's just move on to one more quick story because again, there's not really much to talk about this week. I don't think. Atomic Heart, there's been some details released about that, which is coming to Game Pass on the 21st, I believe.
That's correct.
And they've said the main campaign is 20 to 25 hours. Completionist run is 35 to 40 hours, not 500 hours. Hello, Dying Light 2. Three difficulty levels, 12 types of weapons, plenty of dialogue options, and AI companion offers info in the game world and performs various functions. And they also put out a thing last week saying it'll be like 4K 60, 4K 30, I think, in the open world, or 1080 60 if you're exploring generally and things like that. I mean, anyone excited for Atomic Hearts? Looks like it's coming out in just over a week.
Someone else mentioned it. It was one of those I'll give it a go, but not what the high on the agenda. But if it's coming to Game Pass, then why not give it a go? You never know.
Right.
That's what Game Pass is for, right? Games you wouldn't usually play and go,
Exactly.
not my cup of tea, but I'll give it a go.
Give it a try, and we found plenty of gems on there just via that method of playing. So hopefully this will be one of them as well.
Another FPS coming out. What gimmick is this one going to have?
Yes, where from the looks of it, it looks like it's a bit more of a comedy, like a dark comedy style thing. So I forget the exact details, but it's like a post-apocalyptic Russia or something, and there's androids and crazy robots and sort of mad weapons, a bit Borderlands mixed Fallout mixed Stalker and stuff like that. So yeah, be worth a shot. Give it a try when it comes out.
I feel like we're missing Ross when it comes to talking about this game.
He was definitely the one on the panel most excited to play it, I think. But we'll see what happens come the 21st. I'm sure we'll talk about it. If we can get him off Football Manager and fucking NFL for a couple of hours to play something. And seeing as Ian's in the chat, I don't know if he's still there or not. Did you know Ian Alawake 2 is now playable from start to finish? I don't know if it's actually ready to come out, but you can play it. So hopefully it'll be soon. You might even get a release date in maybe E3 or something. So that's good for you, Ian. That's just for you, that is, if you're listening.
I don't know, but in that thing it says, but Alan Wake Remastered hasn't sold enough to generate royalties yet. So
I mean,
they might even cancel it.
They could do. I mean, the first one's not very good, is it? So you might as well just keep it off. He's not here. He can't defend it.
Yeah. Alan Wake was okay, wasn't it? It wasn't the best. Oh, here's my torch.
Yeah, I mean, not
Torch Man.
That was
We spoke about it before. I didn't enjoy it, but him and Ross seem to love it, but they're not here, so. I think that's it. Unless anyone else really wants to talk about one of the other stories that are in there, but there's not really much there to talk about.
No, they're a quiet week, really.
Yeah,
apart from just more moanings about this Activision Blizzard takeover. Everyone's just suing.
I'm not even interested in bringing that sort of guff
yeah,
up
you say that, but I'm getting increasingly, I'm not say worried, but I'm getting on the side that it actually may not happen. Like, if all these boards are coming out and said, do this, no, then it's actually okay. It might not happen. But, until something concrete comes out, it's all just, he said, she said.
Exactly. Yeah. You sit here and speculate. Well, I think it might happen. It might not happen. Well, who knows? It's not for us to decide, is it? We can't. Bobby Kotick sneezed in the wrong way. That means it must not be. He can fuck off. But anyway, that's no good, is it? No good. But yeah, so that's pretty much. I mean, that's a fucking rapid fire news segment as far as
I know. It's all done within 20 minutes.
Flew through that one. Yeah, like I said, not much in the way of news. Hopefully, there'll be a bit more next week, as well as we'll have some of the other lads back so that they can fill the air with inane chatter about NFL and golf and whatever else they like to do on the weekends. So we get into some pluggles. We've got no Ross, so I'm going to attempt to plug you myself, gentlemen, if that's all right.
Please do.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh, are you stretched? I'm stretched. Right, first and foremost, you can go to patreon.com/Xbox Tavern. That's where you can follow us, support us, give us a couple of quid a month. That would be lovely. Help us support the podcast or Graham's secret amiibo addiction that we got to fund somehow, because he's a massive hoarder of. He's not even giving me nothing. All right. It's like a complete stone face. Yeah. So patreon.com, that'd be wonderful. Patreon.com/Xbox Tavern official. Xbox Tavern, sorry. You can also rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever service you like. 5 stars, please. That'd be wonderful. Leave a comment on the Apple Podcast, and we will read them out. When someone with an iPhone has got access to the comments, that'd be lovely. You can find all of our written reviews over at xboxtavern.com, which I shall enlighten you all more later on. And the socials, which I definitely didn't forget to put at the bottom of the screen, are running along the bottom of the screen very shortly, wherever it may be. So that one? No, I don't know. There we go. Yeah, one. It's got the wrong number in it, but why not? Let's go with that. And Discord and stuff is in the link in the show notes. You can come over there. We're still doing Guess the Game. Pete, I was very disappointed that you didn't get one yesterday before I did. Beat you to it. Beat you to it.
What was yesterday's?
I think it was yesterday or the day before. It was a certain RPG game that on the PlayStation that I beat you to. Anyway, it's a great game. Graham's still being a chicken, not taking part, but
I need to get back into that.
yeah, come along and post your results. We got a bit of a competition, like friendly competition going on between some of us. Some days we do well, some days we don't, but it's good fun.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yes, so it's good fun.
I recognise picture 2, and I was like, I've seen those before. I've seen that before. What is it? What is it? And I got to number 3, and I was like, yeah, it's that. And I was like, oh shit, no, wait.
yes. I was surprised that I even managed to get that one. But yeah, go check out guess.game. Yeah, it's good fun. And finally, our good friends at Insert Coin, they're still running their offer with us. So if you use Xbox Tavern 23, you can get £5 off orders over £50 on their website. That'd be wonderful. And they got some new stuff coming out. They got some new Little Nightmares t-shirts and stuff, as well as what did I share last week? I think there's some new. I can't remember now, but go check them out. New Gears of War stuff, which I was very
good quality clothing, guys.
Well. Yes, I would check. Oh, in fact, me old Dead Space hoodies back there. I was feeling in the mood for wearing that, considering I've been playing a bit more Dead Space this week. So, yeah, go check that out. They've got some wonderful stuff on there. InsertCoinClothing.com. Excellent.
Cool.
Oh, I am plugged.
Oh, I mean, I'm all out of breath for plugging everyone now. I mean, whew, right. Anyway, we're flying through this. Let's carry on. I can't be doing too many things at once. Right, we've got a quick question from special guest Pete. You dropped us a quick question in there. Thank you very much. If you'd like to give us a question, you can hit us up at Xbox Tavern on Twitter or in the Discord or on the show on the comments below, stuff like that. Any questions or comments you want to read out, that'd be wonderful. But especially because Pete has asked us. In fact, Pete, seeing as you're here, why don't you read it out for us?
Okay, so guys, franchises: Halo, Gears of War, and Titanfall. You can choose one of those franchises to play. The other 2 you can never play ever again. But all 3 franchises do continue to get releases. So which 2 are you binning in favour of which 2 are you binning off, basically?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go with Graham first, then, please, because he is picked the wrong answer. So go on, Graham.
Graham, all of the hot takes.
Yeah. I picked Halo mainly because it's the main series I've kind of played out of those ones. I do enjoy Gears of War, but not as much as I enjoyed playing through Halo, and that one has a bit more of a nostalgic feel for me as well. Titanfall, I haven't completed anything. I dabbled into it when you and Ian kind of made us play it for a little bit, but outside of that, I couldn't really get into Titanfall at all.
Oh, Happy Cloud Gamers come in with the good choice. Good work, Happy Cloud Gamer. He says he's replaying Halo ODST right now, which, as you may know, is Graham's favourite Halo game.
Of the Halo
just
series.
Think, right, if you can only play Halo, don't forget, if they do make an ODST too, you've got to play it.
I don't have to play it. It's the only one I can
play. You don't have to play it. Okay, but it will still get released, you know.
Ugh.
I mean, you should do just for picking Halo, you know.
You should not get into that series if you. Yeah.
Yes, well, ODST is the best one, obviously. So yeah, so you're going with Halo. You're going to bin off Gears of War and Titanfall, which I mean, if 343 can turn it round, you've made a very wise choice indeed. But based on the current track record of Halo, as we spoke about last week or the week before, I think you're stiffing yourself up a little bit there. But let's go especially because Pete, which game would you pick to keep and bin off the other 2?
I mean, Titanfall can get in the bin straight away.
Outrageous.
I've never played it, so I don't know what I'm going to miss if I've never played it. Right? It was another FPS game. I was like, nah, I can't be asked, you know. So that's fine. You don't know. I can't remember what the phrase is now, but you know, you're not going to miss what you don't know, kind of thing. Between Halo and Gears, I mean, again, they're both. You know how I feel about these games. Obviously Gears is third person, so.
Just to remind you picked the games, yeah.
I know. Well, this was a question for you two because it was like it'd be interesting to see what your hot takes are. With me, you know, I could all 3 could get in the bin for me. To be fair, so I mean, obviously, Halo is first person, Gears is third person. I mean, the thing is, I don't even know the lore of the stories apart from Gears has got the train guy and the guy who always dies. Uh,
Oh man, RIP.
do you know what? I'll go with Graham and say Halo, just because I've played multiplayer, and as much as I don't like it, it's, I play it with you guys, so it'll always bring back those memories. And in case there is a day where we do somehow get 16 of us in a house again and we can play 16-player, link up on 4 TVs, if there's a chance, I don't want to miss out on that again. I don't want to miss out on that. So I think purely for that, I'll go with Halo.
Yeah, I mean that's a good choice because those days, especially the 16-player, single house 4-screen setup was awesome. However, I'm going for Gears of War because for me the series has eclipsed Halo in terms of enjoyment. Like the gameplay is much better. The story, although I don't really care much about either story, to be honest, I much more appreciate the sort of crazy, over-the-top story of Gears of War, like big muscly men and women beating the shit out of each other and chainsawing things in half, and then getting all sad because one of their friends died when they've just chainsawed a million other people in half. But
I was about to say, I forgot Gears has a chainsaw, didn't it?
Yeah, and the multiplayer is good fun. I'm not very good at the Gears multiplayer. I think if I had to, I would like Halo multiplayer and Gears single player, but obviously that's off the table. But yeah, definitely Gears of War.
I'm surprised that you're not even given an honourable mention to Titanfall.
I was going to say, that's why I put Titanfall in there, because I thought I'd give you a pause.
I was about to get to Titanfall. So Titanfall multiplayer is awesome, and the single player of Titanfall 2 is also awesome, but there's only been one campaign, whereas Gears, you've got 6 campaigns if you include Judgment, which I've played through.
What they could do with Titanfall 3, Jay.
I know if Titanfall 3 ever existed, I would be very, very sad. I would be missing out on it. But as you say, I can watch someone play it, so I can kind of live vicariously through them. I just wouldn't be able to play it myself, which would be upsetting. But yeah, as it stands right now, Gears of War all the way, because I love a bit of Gears, and I know Ian would stand with me too. So,
I think Ian would choose Titanfall.
I mean, he did actually put an answer in there. He said Gears of War.
Sorry, I didn't even see that.
Ian picked Titanfall.
He did put the bastard.
Yeah. Titanfall is amazing, and the multiplayer is amazing. But like I said, at the minute, in terms of attachment to the series, Gears of War definitely wins out for me.
Yeah. I'm guessing by Happy Cloud Gamer, I'm guessing he would choose Halo as well.
I would have thought so, yeah.
I don't know. He picked ODST. It could be anything. Especially because he's playing ODST. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Happy Cloud.
Yeah.
You have to be dedicated to play that one.
Excuse me. So, all right. That's the question done. If you've got any questions, like I said, feel free to drop them in the comments below or hit us up at Xbox Tavern or wherever else on our contactable places. That'd be wonderful. We're going to move on to Project Game Pass now, and I don't suppose anyone's played any Hi-Fi Rush this week. I have not. I would be hands up first.
I haven't put any more into it after I said the guy was a better than last week.
Yeah, same. Obviously, I think, like I said, like I mentioned last week, I think I've got to a point where I've sampled. I beat the first boss, and I'm pretty sure I know how the rest of the game is going to go. You can learn new abilities and. Yeah, like I said, it's not good. Well, for me personally, it's not good. It's not bad. I think the fact that it really does. I know you can complete the game without being on rhythm, but it really does affect you if you're not on time, and it does get very frustrating if you've got button lag. And I think because the game heavily relies on that one thing, then that automatically.
You're just saying you're not just out of rhythm, Pete.
Yeah. What? Sorry, I'm on.
So we'll play some more. Like I said, I haven't had time. I'm too busy playing other things this week, but get back to it, and we shall give it our verdicts in a couple of weeks and pick a new game for Project Game Pass.
I think it'd be quite good to have online multiplayer actually. That game.
Can you imagine trying to sync their timing up? Oh,
exactly. Bit like a bit like a Rapper online multiplayer with Hi-Fi,
Yeah, maybe for the sequel, Although apparently they were teasing the Evil Within 3 within it, which makes me very excited because I love Evil Within. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's get on to the stuff we have been playing this week, gentlemen, because we've got plenty of games to talk about. Although we've got there's some we still can't talk about, which is a shame, but we'll get to them next week. Pete, I'm going to go to you first because it's your time to shine. Tell me all about, the little game called Mass Effect 2?
Yeah, so I took a break from diving into my back catalogue last week and just dived into Mass Effect 2, going through as my tech shepherd. Play it through on normal mode because, I've done Insanity 2 or 3 times now, and it's like, once or twice is enough. So, I played it, spoilers, everyone survived the suicide mission, and I really enjoy playing as a tech. I know people really like playing as a bio shepherd, but I very much prefer tech and taking enemies down with turrets and all that kind of stuff, and hacking the gaff and all that. It's much fun just watching them take each other out, and I can just sit there and just not have to fire a bullet, So we all know it's a very good, very, very good franchise. But another hot take for Dan's Reels is, even though I don't know why, also get my words out here, I still think Mass Effect 2 is the weakest out of the trilogy. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but I much prefer playing through 1 and 3. Mass Effect 2 just seems, it's a good game. It's Mass Effect 2, but it's, I don't know, I don't know. it's still like an 8 out of 10 game, but I feel like 1 and 3 are 9 out of 10s. I don't think even though the squad mates are really cool, I don't think I bonded them as much as I did like in number 1 when you first go through. But so completed Mass Effect 2 again. About to start my journey on Mass Effect 3 whenever I get time, and I think next week I'll probably dive into something else new, and then maybe the week or two after I'll jump into number 3, complete another tech playthrough.
Are you using the definitive edition, I'm assuming, or are you going back 360 style?
No, Legendary Edition. No.
Legendary Edition.
Yeah, no. It's free. Oh, to be fair, there are a few achievements I could get on the 360 ones, but I'm not achiever hunter like someone else on our podcast. So I'm happy just to keep playing through the Legendary Edition, so I get all the upspuff goodness.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I'd love to play them again. And I started the first one when the definitive edition, when Gray picked it up, but I just haven't had time to go back to it at all. Maybe one day. Yeah. And when I'm retired or something, and I can afford to just sit around and play games all day, that's the dream. That's the dream. Gray, you've been playing some interesting games this week, which we can't talk about, but
yeah.
I did notice this morning. I went on the Xbox to have a little game or something, and I saw you were playing Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yeah,
tell me all about it.
It has cropped up before. I played it when it originally came to Game Pass. It was just something I spotted because the girls were interested in sort of seeing it and exposing themselves to Disney characters, and so they now know who like Goofy is, and my youngest obviously likes Minnie Mouse. But recently they've updated it to include Buzz and Woody in the actual game. So they're just drip feeding new characters in. Yeah. So I got as far as it could go. And then so they drip fed, and then Scar from Lion King was added a couple of months back. And more recently, Buzz and Woody have been added in.
So what's the objective of this game?
It's just, if you think of it, it's like a lighter version of Animal Crossing. So you talk with them, they give you kind of tasks, and just basically you're a person that lives in this area that's called the Dreamlight Valley, and basically depending on if you pick male or female, they've forgotten who they are, and all the Disney characters have forgotten why they're there, and basically it just seems like it's a place where they can all get together and enjoy themselves, but for some reason the forgottening has happened, and basically everyone keeps forgetting why they're there, and so you have to do things to help them remember who they are. They remember that they enjoyed living in the valley, and basically, you do all kinds of things like removing darkness, fishing, mining. It's all basic stuff just to get money and just do loads of little side quests and stuff. It's just like a little time killer that sort of kids like enjoying playing.
Is there a final boss to take down?
There's no fighting or anything. Literally no fight. It's just literally to do some sort of finding missions, earn enough money or enough materials to make something to progress the next mission, and you just build up the friendship with all the different characters.
Exactly. So you beat the game with the power of friendship.
Kind of, yeah.
And the real challenge was the friends we made along the way.
Oh, that's what you need from a game, isn't it? Especially if it's aimed at a younger audience.
Yeah, but I mean, they enjoy watching me play it. They keep trying to make me do fishing, and there's a little animation. I think I said this last time on the podcast with Donald Duck losing his shit every time.
I think me and Jay both lost the same thing there.
Is it a game for Ian then? If you do a bit of fishing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I don't think you can really fail too much. Definitely catch something.
Oh, need a bit of a challenge to the fishing.
Oh, it's a little bit of a timing thing, but it's extremely simple.
Is there like kind of legendary fish, rare fish, or is it just all the same kind of, you know?
There's about 30, 40 different fish, so there's plenty of variety.
Nice.
But yeah, there's loads of different cookings as well. But I mean, the thing is, I've done Buzz and Woody, and I got the achievement for making friends with 20 characters, and there's an achievement for making 30, and it's not even 30 characters. So they're really sort of future-proofing.
Is it behind DLC? Is it, or is it just like?
There's no DLC. They're just drip feeding extra content.
Right,
I think it's technically in early access, isn't it? So they released it whenever it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Slowly adding people in as they go. Did you say add in Buzz and Woody?
Scar was the first one from Lion King, and then they've added in Buzz and Woody. But I mean, you see from the characters, you've got Lilo and Stitch who aren't in it yet. You've got some of the Aristocats that aren't in it yet. So you can kind of guess what sort of characters are coming. But yeah, there's a lot that's still hidden away.
I was going to say, put a character like Scar in there. Like, why would you want him to remember? No, you just stay.
But he's the only one from Lion King that's in it. There's no like Timon, Pumbaa. Or,
I swear I just saw Timon and Pumbaa in that trailer Jamie put on there.
It probably was.
Maybe that's a future thing then, is it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of stuff that could potentially come. That's what I mean. It's just, yeah, that's as far as we got.
Yeah, well, as long as the kids enjoy it, like you said, and then it's something to play together for a little while before they get bored and move on, and then you can go back to playing adult games. Yeah.
Once they usually stop after they've seen Donald Duck losing his shit.
I mean, does he ever not lose his shit?
No, this is sort of one of about 3 animations that he has. But it's the same. You get it with him and Maui as well from Moana.
Oh,
every now and then, if you turn around and bump into him, you just keep shouting, "You're welcome."
I might have to. Excuse me, I might have to check this game out now. I'll do like a bit of Moana, but yeah, nice, cool, nice. Right, I'm going to jump in very quickly then with one of the games I'm playing this week, which is Tales of the Backbone Preludes. Let me just get the old clicky trailer going on. There we go. So, Pete, I know you enjoyed Backbone. Gray, did you ever play the original Backbone? Come out on Game Pass a year or so ago?
No, I didn't.
So it's like a 2D.
Oh no, I think I saw you playing that. Is that the detective-y one?
Yeah, so it's like a 2D, almost like a narrative adventure, but it's like some light puzzling and sort of dialogue choices and stuff to do. And this is a prelude, a prequel to it. So it sets up the events of the first game when you follow the characters that it showed in the trailer here: Howard, Clarissa, Eli, and Renee, the reporter. And even though obviously you know where it's going, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the way they split it up is into 4 chapters, and you do a little segment of each character, and at the end of the segment you get like a dialogue tree, and it says like Renee picked this option, and the tree itself has got so many different options of like the way the story could go, even though again you already know the outcome effectively. And then once you've done all 4 characters of a chapter, the chapter ends, you start the next chapter. This sort of progressed on however many years, and then you do another 4 chapters, and then you do move on, etc., until you get to the end where the first game started. And yeah, I really enjoyed every second of it. It looks lovely. It still looks great like it did in the original. But I played this on PC. It's not out on Xbox yet, unfortunately. And at the moment, they said there's no plans to bring it to Xbox, which is a shame because this was like a surprise Game Pass hit for me.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe they're going to surprise launch it on Game Pass. Go, hey, it's coming to Xbox. Hey, it's coming to Game Pass. Yeah.
That would be good because, like I said, the whole reason I played it was because it was on Game Pass, and this sort of prequel is just as good as in my eyes. And again, you know what's going to happen, but I just thought the writing's excellent. It's very funny that in my review, which I'll share later on, but there's a screenshot of one of the dialogue choices, and it honestly made me laugh like a little child, because it was just like immature, but it was brilliant. And yeah, the way the choices are laid out are more natural than, like in Telltale, where you get, you can pick to fight or run, or it's obvious the good choice and the bad choice. Whereas this, they blend it all in a lot more naturally. So you'll be picking dialogue choices, and then it will sort of come up with something like a three or four choices. You'll pick one, and then a little thing will pop up in the corner saying this character will remember that, or this character's mood has changed or something. But it doesn't sort of give you that warning ahead of time. And part of the first chapter is setting up your sort of almost like style. So you can choose to be, for example, sarcastic or empathetic or various other emotions, basically, like for each character. But once you picked one, it will unlock dialogue choices further on. So later on, you might get an option. You'll get 3 options, and you get an extra ones. We're saying this is a sarcastic response, which you can only pick if you set up your character to be sarcastic. And it doesn't really affect anything. It's more like just adding a bit of extra character to them. Like, it's not going to change the outcome or anything. But I thought that was a pretty little neat touch. And then they've also got a little mini game in it. Hasn't either of you played Unpacking?
Briefly,
yeah.
Yeah, so you know how you sort of stack stuff on the shelves and you can line everything. There's a couple of moments in it where I don't know if it's not the same devs, but I don't know if they like use some of the same stuff, because it basically works exactly the same. Like Renee has to organize the shelf and it cuts out, and then you're just stacking stuff up like you do in Unpacking. And it was a nice little distraction, but the main gist is following the story and experiencing the setup to Backbone. And I can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's about 12 quid on Steam. It came out last week. Yeah, very, very enjoyed it. Really good. So hopefully it comes to Xbox and Game Pass at some point in the near future.
I mean, I was hoping for a sequel first, but obviously if a prequel's that good, then it's a bit like before Life is Strange, wasn't it? Where they brought out the prequel. Yeah. So, but if it gets your seal of approval, then I shall jump on it at some point.
I mean, so I know it's early in the year, but it's already one of the game sort of in the running for Game of the Year for me. I thought it was excellent. Really, really enjoyed it. And again, even though I knew it was going, I couldn't put it down for the 2 or 3 nights it took to get through it. So yeah, highly recommended. But that's enough of me waffling on while I was trying to distract myself with everything else. Let me find other games you've been playing, General. What, Pete? Let's go back to you. You've been playing. Oh no, Manager.
Do you want me to keep it quick?
Oh yeah, as quick as you can. But you've been playing a bit of Football Manager 2023. Obviously, Ross isn't here to talk about how he's nitpicking his team exactly. Do you want to give us a lowdown on what you're up to?
Quickly first, did Ross actually do his FM blog in the end, or did he not really do it?
Don't be daft.
So I obviously, taking a break from my back catalogue, I've dived back into my Football Manager Say this year, where I am managing Albion Rovers. I am now halfway through season 3. After season 2, I got promoted into the league above. In Scotland, you've got the Premiership, Championship, League 1, League 2. I'm now in League 1. I am definitely fighting for life, as I had to sell my best player for a minuscule amount. I think he ended up going for about 40,000 in the end. Whereas, if I was in England, it would have been at least like $500,000.
That's chump change in the old football leagues, isn't it?
It is. Obviously, with Scotland, there's not a lot of money in Scotland, which is why it's going to be that much harder to, win the ultimate prize with Albion Rovers. But so I'm currently, like I said, halfway through the season. I'm currently sitting 7th out of 10 teams. I'm optimistic of surviving and then being able to rebuild in the summer and go again into season 4, hopefully get promoted, which is nice, because usually when I do England, it's very easy when I start with like Woking or Slough, someone in the lower reaches of England. It's so easy just to get promotion. Whereas this is quite actually a nice pace. Go, do you know what? Season 1, I had a really bad team. I struggled. I, was able to keep the team up and rebuild. Season 2, I won the league. Season 3, I'm struggling again, which is nice. It might sound weird to say that, but it's nice to have a different change of pace where I'm not, always
not so easy.
So yeah, there's aspects, and I think that's probably enough Football Manager chat for this week.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you keeping it short and sweet. I mean, yeah, I've got nothing to say. I get stuck with the football stuff.
There's no Ian or Ross here, so there's no need for any follow-up questions.
But however, I'm not done punishing myself yet. Graham, tell me all about your time with FIFA 23 as well. Go on, let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, I'm still semi-hooked on it. It pulls me back in with the next kind of campaign that's going on, which is Future Stars. And I've managed to bag a couple, but I still can't replace some of the people from my squad. But yeah, every now and then I get a minor slice of luck. I don't get any of the sort of the highest ones that seem to got out. Yeah, in the Ultimate Team. But I managed to pull a Marquisio from my World Cup hero pick. And he goes for about 1.5 million coins. So he's a pretty hefty one.
That's one of Jamie's favorite players, isn't it, Marquinhos?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's just weird. So I put that back in there, and I thought there's a couple of objectives for playing in the full end the FUT championships bit, where you have to qualify for like a Super League bit at the end of the week. And I managed to qualify for that, and I've been playing through some of that. I've won more than I've lost. I think I've won about 8 and lost about 4. And you see some proper super teams out there, and like with people with the super team of the year players in there. I even played against a team earlier that had Mbappe, Pele, and R9 Ronaldo as their front three. I still managed to beat him, sort of 6-2. But I was like, I don't know how these people get like. They must have just spend so much money to get players like this and still not be good. So that's got to be the sad moment to have those kind of players and still not sort of dominate. So that's the bit that kind of makes me think, okay, it's not the be all and end all. As long as I have a half decent team, there's still a chance.
Yeah, I think FIFA's always been that way with Ultimate Team, isn't it? You can spend thousands of pounds on packs getting your favourite players, but if you haven't got the skill to back it up, it's pointless, right? Precisely.
And I like to think I've got enough to sort of get somewhere. Maybe not the highest end, just like that people brag about on sort of sites and everything. They go 20-0, which means they sort of in the finals, but you play 20 matches. If you get all of them, you get maximum points.
I mean, to be fair, you have been playing FIFA for 30 years now, so
but the one thing I haven't mastered is doing skills properly. Just cannot pull out skills when I need to.
I've never bothered with skills. I would just run through players and pass it around them. I've always had that.
That's what I do.
Can't be asked to.
Well, there's someone I got slick passing skills. It's just the skills would just add that extra notch that I'm probably missing to sort of take me up that next level.
Those are the players like that, the people that remind me of speedy builds in Fortnite. They got way too much time on their hands to learn all these trick moves. Just football.
But there's things stopping me from getting to that point. If I can't stop myself from playing the game, I need to get to that point to sort of at least try some of those things.
Yeah.
I can give you some. I was going to say, I can give you some lessons sometime if you like. It's not a problem. Just give me a shout and I can run you through the basics. Yeah.
But it's the fact
I think the X button is the slide button. That's all you need to know.
It is. You hold R button and you do a super slide, a proper beefed version of it.
You got it. You got it covered.
See that we need to get. I know there's no more backwards compatible games being added, but Jay would have loved that game. I think it was called This Is Football, where you could literally press Y and it would be like a 2-footed lunge tackle. And you had to get the timing spot on, otherwise it was a red card because it was a 2-footed challenge.
Talking of that, one of my games in the qualifier bits was playing against a guy who must have had a J-like character on their side. Like one guy was trying to do skills and the other guy got 2 red cards in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Yes. Good lad. Good lad.
What are you doing? He's not even trying to get the ball. He's literally just trying to hack me down. And you can see the 2 of them playing. I was like, yeah, one guy's obviously all right. The other one's just it's just a J just ruining his experience.
Suspensions still count because obviously injuries got taken out of the game, didn't they, in terms of getting injury packs?
No, you still get injuries.
Do your players get suspended?
Yes. Only on main.
Oh, there's contracts that got rid. No, they still had contracts. They got rid of something, didn't they?
Still there. Injuries are still there. There's no fitness anymore.
Fitness is the one they got rid of, wasn't it? Fitness.
Yeah, but if you get a red card, they just can't play one game, and then you just have to either play a squad battle game just to get the red card overturned, or just play one match without that person. Which, if you've got a big enough squad, you can pull that kind of thing off. But yeah, I'm competing.
You found my alternate account. I need to change my name.
It definitely looked like it. The man who was hacking me to bits. But yeah, it's just nothing gets me heart racing more than just sort of going 3-0 down and sort of still beating someone like 6-4, which happened. So if you just that never give up spirit, and then you just never know what happens in that second half.
Yeah, that's the joy of the beautiful game. Do you still call it a beautiful game? I don't know. Why not? Let's go with that.
It has become not so beautiful if you leave crossplay on. Fuck PC gamers is all I can say. Not only do they keep bringing lag every now and then, but always the strangest shit always seems to happen when playing against PC gamers. And the amount of stuff I've seen of people getting sort of hacked online playing against PC players, where either their team's invisible or every shot is like a super shot, regardless of they're taking, and even to like they play 10 seconds and then the game crashes out and the team gets a 2-0 win every time. I was like, yeah, that's a risk I'd rather not take. So
can you not take? Can you take it off? Can you turn crossplay off? Can you?
You can turn crossplay off. Yeah, matchmaking. It tells you every time you play it, you're not getting the maximum experience by turning off crossplay.
So, I am.
I'm getting the exact experience I want.
EA promoting cheaters. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
it's a shame because some of the PC games are just as cack as the Xbox ones, but it's just like every now and then, half the cackers, you start getting these people that sort of weird shit keeps happening.
Yeah, well, there seems to be rife with cheaters no matter what game you play. So I suppose FIFA, especially with the currency and stuff you can gain from it, probably worth someone's while. Being a sad little nerd going, oh, I'm going to hack this game, I'm going to win.
Yeah. It's the fact you can't pick and choose. I mean, I wouldn't mind it sort of if it was just Sony fanboys that I was beating, but you can't just turn PC ones off. You have to turn all sort of cross-play ones off, which is a bit of a shame. So imagine console games would be fine sort of playing against each other. It's just those PC super knobheads who find tweaking the game to their own benefit a bit of a killjoy.
Yes, so they seem to enjoy just ruin everyone else's fun. And I think I ran into one of them earlier on in the game that I've been playing called Fortnite. Oh, Fortnite.
What a segue, Jay.
I love a bit of Fortnite. So I was playing a little bit with one of the kids earlier on, and I ran through a door, and the guy literally one-shot me with like a basic pistol when it went to his like screen after he killed you. Instant dead. I was like, the fuck? And then he obviously killed my kid as well. What the fuck? Now, why are you... Get rid of that YouTube ad there. Let's get rid of that. So very disappointed. But I am enjoying the Fortnite still. They've obviously updated various bits and pieces to the map and to the weapon set and stuff. They brought back the Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z, and they've also brought back some of the skins from Goku and Beerus and Vegeta and stuff. So I was playing earlier on, and again, a rocketeer in the distance was Kame. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, leave me alone. And they've also got one
Where's it coming from?
Is it the Deku Smash from One Piece?
The Naruto, was it Naruto? Wasn't
it Naruto or One? I forget which one, but
the one that
Rocketeer was them going off.
One Piece.
Was it One Piece?
And they've also introduced, you just saw in the trailer, Geralt's finally there for unlocking as well, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass to unlock him, so I'm not really sure I'm going to get to it. But I'm enjoying it still. I still love to jump in for a quick game or two here and there. And I just enjoy playing that game. Really, it's quite good fun. Even the kids are sort of proper getting into it a little bit, where they're not sort of like hyper competitive, but they jump in and they just want to go and explore and open the chests and find items and find different guns. And like my youngest I was playing with earlier on, she had quite a decent selection of like weapons and health and stuff, but she found the eagle thing, which you can fly out and scan the area for enemies. And because it was purple, she was like, I have to pick it up. I was like, no, just leave it. We don't need it. No, I have to pick it up. And she just got rid of her gun and picked this up and just got stuck with throwing it around. So, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. If that's what's going to make you happy, that's fine. But yeah, it's good fun. I love a bit of Fortnite. And yeah, that's about it, really. I've like I said, we've been playing a few other games we can't really talk about just yet. To be continued next week, when we'll have 2 games we can talk about next week, which we can't talk about just yet. I hope maybe you can reappear next week, special guest Pete, for a chat about a certain video game, and we can go from there. Yeah, anyone else got any other games you want to bring up, or should we move on to? I mean, we're at 55 minutes. This is unprecedented.
I was going to say the only other game I played this week was with my youngest, Golf with Friends.
Oh yeah,
very good game on Game Pass. Game Pass is probably the best in gaming right now. I
best
reckon.
in gaming, I think.
Yeah. No, he was watching these YouTubers he likes playing it, and he's like, "Dad, have we got this game?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can we play it?" And I was like, "Yes, we can." So yeah, he's been playing Golf with Friends, and he's to be fair, he's pretty good. I mean, he can't beat me. He can beat my wife, but he can't beat me. Got to teach my life lesson of you have to work hard to beat me. You can't just. I'm not gonna let him win.
Damn right.
Yeah, he's got to destroy his dreams. But yeah, very good game. Golf with Friends. You can play obviously locally or online. It's a very good game to check out on Game Pass.
Yeah, damn right. I think did we do it as a Project Game Pass? I don't think we did we in the end? But
no, I remember us playing a night of it.
Yeah, online, we definitely played a night or two of it, and it's good. I think you can have up to 8 or 10 players,
something like that. Yeah.
It's good fun. We should play some more at some point. But yeah, go check that out on Game Pass. That'd be wonderful. Go from there. Cool. Right, gentlemen, let's get into the rounding off of the show, shall we already? Less than an hour. I mean, Dan's not even here anymore, and he'd be so proud of us. He's probably
checking out the YouTube comments there. Mr. Happy Cloud has talked about Star Trek Resurgence, the first project from Telltale developers at Dramatic Labs. I haven't seen that yet. Have you heard anything about that?
The first time I've heard of Dramatic Labs, but I mean, former Telltale developers is going to keep Dan happy at the very least. They got some good relationships in that game. Yes, I mean,
plenty of stories with Star Trek that they can tap into, so it's not surprised that they could do some sort of Telltale like game around the Star Trek universe as well. There's bloody plenty of content around that.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek sort of gets a bit of a short shift in it because obviously you've got 10 tons of Star Wars games, but not so many Star Trek ones. And I think the ones that we have had haven't been the best. It was quite a good VR one, I believe, but yeah, we haven't had the best in terms of Star Trek stuff. So yeah, decent story-based one in the Star Trek universe could go a long way. Might even get my mum playing games, Should have a bit of Star Trek.
All right. So where are you going with this?
But I mean, that's way down the future. Who knows when that's coming out or what's going to be? But we could also, we could play Game Pass games in the meantime, which is probably what Dan's doing instead of being on the podcast. And we've got some new games coming to Game Pass. So Ross, do you want? Oh shit, he's not here. I'll read out some games that come into Game Pass as of Tuesday. So we got Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord coming on February the 14th. We've got City Skylines Remastered coming the 15th. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition the 16th, and the game we talked about earlier on, Atomic Heart, is coming February 21st.
I feel like City Skylines has already been on Game Pass.
I was going to say, I'm surprised to see that one on there, but it says remastered, so I'm guessing they've upspuffed it for Series X and S or something. But maybe because I'm pretty sure the original City Skylines has been and probably still is actually on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, a very very advanced Sim City.
Yeah, and again, a game I like those sort of games, but I could never really get into them for long enough to properly appreciate them.
Obviously, last week I talked about Age of Empires 2 and how they've adapted it for the controller. That game, I had to put it down after 5 minutes. I tried it, but you can't. It's a PC game, so yeah. I
think there's a VR version as well, which I was tempted to check out, but I mean, I haven't even finished playing Resident Evil 4 VR. By the way, I haven't talked about Resident Evil this week. Should we talk about Resident Evil for a little bit? I'm joking. I'm saving it till the end of March.
Save that content for After Dark, shall we?
I'm saving it for the end of March when you're going to get nothing but fucking Resident Evil. However, things are leaving Game Pass. It's not all wonderful remasters and things coming to Game Pass. Pete, do you want to do the honours of Ian and tell us what's leaving, please?
Yes, time for me to break your hearts, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. So, games leaving Game Pass. There's still not updated lists, so these games will be leaving by Wednesday, which is the 15th?
I think it's the 16th normally, 15th, 16th.
15th, 16th, yeah. So we've got Besiege, Crossfire X, Infernax, The Last Kids on Earth, and the Staff of Doom. Recompile and Skull the Hero Slayer all leaving.
And remember, when Crossfire X goes, anyone who purchased the single player is also losing access to that. All 6 of you who care, probably, you're going to lose your money. You're basically been shafted. So remember to give Smilegate some shit when they release their next game. And be like, fuck you didn't give my money back for my game I purchased of you bastards. But again, I'm going to recommend Recompile. I know you've only got a few days to play it, but it's a very enjoyable Metroidvania style game. So go check that one out. Graham.
Yes.
Things and stuff coming to Games with Gold. Games with Gold, anyone still subscribe to that? Probably. When you tell them what they can pick up for free-ish.
Yeah, they can pick up For the King, which is available until the 28th of February. They have Autonauts, which they've only got until the 15th of February. And then as of the 16th of February, you have Guts and Goals coming in until March the 15th.
Nice. Again, Guts Gold. I think I reviewed that one last year. Decent little multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure about the rest of them, to be honest. So yeah, go check them out. Why not? They're free. What the hell? Check them out. Nice. Well, gentlemen, I mean, we've literally just crossed the hour mark and somehow we've got through the entire thing already. Is there anybody got anything they want to spend an hour talking about? Perhaps arcade games or...
I mean, I could dive more into my Football Manager save if you want. You know.
Well, we could discuss the Legend of Zelda trailer or Pikmin 4 coming out.
4, yeah.
I think we're for a big burst. There's major games coming, but they're just not coming yet.
Yes, we're having a bit of a lesser week this week, which is, I suppose, is handy because there's only the 3 of us to sit here and waffle on for ages about it. But thank you very much for joining me, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure to talk to you once again, and thank you for listening. If you've been made it this far, you're a fucking hero, and we love you. We have been Xbox Tavern, and this has been Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 107th, which we record every Sunday night, I should say, on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official at 8 p.m.
Ish.
Thank you. You can find all the socials and stuff, like we said last week, or earlier on, I should say, down below. So for me, I'm at Enexan. You can follow Graham
At Graham Reaper.
or special guest Pete.
At Peter Kinench.
And we'll see you next week for more gaming news, hopefully a bit more to discuss and things we've been playing, as well as a couple of things you might want to come back and listen to. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
You
have to stop it, right?
got rid of the original countdown intro. I'm adding in.
I was just enjoying Graham's singing. All right, anyway, bye.
It was